Dr. Black is dead. He was found lying on the floor of his manor, murdered by the very weapon inside this box. It's ironic, really. The night that he died was meant to be a night of celebration. There was laughter, libation, his friends and family were there, drinks were flowing and games were being played. But ultimately, we found him, lying on the floor of his manor. With your help tonight, I hope we can unravel this mystery. Perhaps there was somebody there who wasn't meant to be. Somebody perhaps with a vendetta, or maybe somebody just down on their luck. But I'll give you one more word of warning before we begin. The suspects tonight will be played by those amongst you, and they have not been given a script to say, lines to read, or been told how to act. And everything you're about to see is happening for the very first time today. With that, the investigation can begin. I never did figure out how he made this happen. Dr. Black, in all of his genius, managed to seal a solid Rubik's Cube inside a glass jar. Could you hold on to this for me? Now, in that time, I've tried to replicate it, but ultimately, I had no luck. But there is somebody else here who has a bit of genius themselves, and will be the first suspect in tonight's investigation. So if you could please give a warm hand to the professor as they meet me up on stage. Thank you very much. If you could take a seat there for me. Now, for those who don't know you, could you tell everybody your name?
My name's Mark.
Actually, I'll pass you.
That's my real name.
Pass you a microphone.
Okay.
And Mark, if I were to pass you this cube and ask you how many turns you think it took for me to mix up this one, how many moves would you say? I can give you a clue. It's somewhere between 15 and 30.
19.
19. Are you confident in your answer, Mark?
No.
Well, we'll put that to the test, and we'll put it to the test with the help of one of these. In a moment, I'd like for you to put this on, Mark, and I'd like for you to make 19 turns of the cube in your hands. Now, don't turn the same move the same side 19 times. You won't end up anywhere close to your target, and we'll just see how close you get. In the meantime, I'll be talking to the rest of the members here. So I'll pass you this. I can pop the microphone back. And all your job is to count in your head as you're making those moves and let me know when you're at 19.
Okay.
Feel free to begin. Now, the thing that I know about the professor is that they were obsessed. They're obsessed with this puzzle, but not just any arrangement of this puzzle. See, every time they mix up the cube, they always end up in the exact same arrangement no matter how many times they turn it. Mark, how many moves are you on?
9.
We'll keep going to 19. And this obsession, this is what drives him. This is what pushes him day after day to learn a bit more, to try and be a bit better. But how far can obsession take you?
That's 19.
You can take off the blindfold and we can take a look.
Okay.
We can see that they don't match, of course. They weren't going to match on this side, any of the sides. They don't match because this isn't the arrangement that the professor was obsessed with. Similarly to me, the professor was obsessed with the cube that Dr. Black trapped inside a sealed jar. If I could take this back, we should be able to see that you've managed to match it on one of the sides. Not just one, but two, two but three, three but four. If I take off the lid as well, even the top of the cube and the bottom. Everybody, I present you Mark, our professor. Hold there for a moment. I have one more thing to test with you. See, I know that you are a bit of a genius, and I want to see how far you've really pushed it with the Rubik's Cube. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to do something that will be a little bit strange. First, you could please stand up for me. We can take the blindfold, pop that back on the table. In a moment, I want you to take this cube behind your back.
Okay.
When it's behind your back, I want you to turn it slowly, the same way that I'm doing here. Now, you know that by turning it like this, it's not going to solve the puzzle at all. It's not going to make any progress, you're not going to get anywhere close, but we're still going to try it. And when you feel, after you're turning this, that you think you're close to being solved, I want you to stop. Whenever your gut feeling, your intuition says, and we'll see how close you get to being a genius. So hold your hands behind your back and begin rotating and turning the puzzle. And hopefully we get to see how much of a genius Mark, our professor, is today. Whenever you're ready.
Not ready yet.
Just wait for the next train to pass over, really. You happy?
I guess I have to be happy now.
Eventually. And take that back. But we're not here to watch our professor show off. We're here because there has been a murder. Dr. Black is dead. And this cube that's trapped in the jar, this was Dr. Black's prized accomplishment, but our professor, with a lifelong career in trying to learn as much as they could about the cube, never quite managed to replicate his accomplishment. So at this party, on the night that Dr. Black died, one of two things happened. Either Mark, our professor, was there as an honoured guest and was celebrating his rival's accomplishment, or perhaps you got jealous. Perhaps that jealous was too much. And eventually, Mark, it's you that killed Dr. Black, and it's you that knows the weapon inside that box. But that is just the first of my theories. Please give a warm round of applause to Mark as you make your way back to your seat. Now, there is somebody here who isn't who they claim to be. Before the investigation began, I came around and I spoke to, I'm hoping, each and every single one of you. If I missed any of you out, I apologise. And I met some interesting people. Spoke to Fiona, who's a teacher. Also spoke to Camilla, who works in marketing, as well as Cam, who's a software engineer, who's a programmer. But there's one person here who claims to be a former lawyer. Now, this person knows who they is. They are now giggling to themselves. So if you could please give a warm round of applause to Lee as you join me up on stage. If you could take the microphone for me. Now, Lee, you may have worked in your previous life as a lawyer, but I don't believe that is the career that you occupy now.
No, it's not.
It's because I believe that you might be a bit of a thief.
Why? Because I'm Chinese?
No! I'll prove to you why I think you're a bit of a thief by planning out a hypothetical, purely hypothetical robbery of Dr. Black's estate.
Okay.
So I want you to work with me here. I want you to picture it in front of you, Dr. Black's manor. It's at the end of a long and winding path. You can see the large windows in the building and the huge mahogany front doors as you approach. But we need to break inside. So Lee, hypothetically speaking, how would you break in to Dr. Black's manor?
Mahogany doors.
What about them? Are we going to knock on them, just open them up? How are we going to get in?
Personally speaking, hypothetically,
Hypothetically.
I would trick him and pretend that I'm someone else.
Fantastic. We walk up, we knock on the door. The butler opens it and greets us. Who are we pretending to be?
Some woman who didn't fill up her car and is now stranded.
I'm so sorry. It's horribly wet and windy outside. My car, it's just run out of fuel. Would you mind if I just come in to use your phone? Oh, thank you. He lets us in.
Yeah?
As we enter, we can hear the party going on one room over. But we're looking for something. Where do we begin our search?
Do we know what we're looking for?
It's something about this big.
And it's important to the residents.
It's important to you.
To me. Assuming there's a reason that I think it's important.
Hypothetically, yes.
I would try to look in the study where there might be a safe.
Fantastic. We head upstairs to the study. We open it up. And we see a safe. Do you know the combination?
I didn't.
You wouldn't. Maybe he wrote it down somewhere.
Possibly? Yeah.
Where do we look for the combination?
Around the study where he keeps his files and documents and family pictures of his firstborns.
It's a cute family.
Yeah, I might agree.
We got it. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably could have just guessed that. And we find our box. But it's got a padlock on the front of it.
Of course.
Where do we look for the key?
In the drawer.
Just more looking around in drawers.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. But we find it. We open up the box. Inside, it's a smaller wooden box. Sounds like something expensive's inside of it, though. Thankfully, this one doesn't have a padlock on it. It is beautiful. There's a large, expensive stone set into the top of this ring. What stone is it?
Jade.
Jade. And what colour is a jade stone?
Green.
Green. Large, green, jade stone. Now, the reason I believe you're a thief is because I know you never got this far in your robbery. But to prove that, I need a helping hand. Everybody, I present to you my helping hand. But I don't just have a helping hand, I also happen to have a key. Not just a key, but a padlocked wooden box from Dr. Black's very own manor. You can pop the microphone down for now. Lee, I would like you to approach the table. I would like for you to take that key and unlock the box.
It's a trap.
Once you've unlocked it, you should find something inside. If you could take that out and show it to everybody. It's a smaller sealed wooden box. And if you shake it, sounds like something expensive inside.
Sounds green.
It sounds green. If you could open that up and show to everybody what you find, you and only you alone knew exactly what it would be. If you show it to everybody.
What do you think it's going to be?
Dr. Black's priceless jade ring. Now, I know you never got this far in your robbery because I am in possession of Dr. Black's ring, which means one of two things happened. Either part way through your robbery, you heard something. You thought you might be caught. And so, hoping that you were undetected, you just scarpered, you left, hoping there were no witnesses and nobody saw your face. Or perhaps it was Dr. Black himself who found you. And when he caught you, you knew that you could leave no witnesses. You couldn't be found being a thief. And solely, perhaps, it's you that killed him. And it's you that knows the weapon inside that box. But again, that is just another one of my theories. So please give a warm hand to Lee, our thief, as you make your way back to your seat. Now this next one's a lot of fun for me. So everybody who is willing and who is able, I would like you all to please get up on your feet. It is time for a game show. One of you is about to win a lucky prize tonight. So everybody up on your feet if you're willing to play the game. The game is quite easy. All you have to do is guess whether the card that I've selected is red or if it's black. If you think that the card is red, put your hand on your head. If you think it's black, put your hand on your back. Make your decisions now, and we're going to see who's the luckiest person in the room tonight. So, in this case, if your hand is on your head, you can stay on your feet. If your hand is on your back, please take a seat, and some of you have been eliminated. I will say that if you have been a suspect so far in the investigation, there is no chance of you winning a prize. You can take a seat right now. And so, we make another decision. I won't even look at this. If you think that this card is red or if it's black, please put your head on your hand or on your back. Make your decisions now. Try not to make all the same decision, otherwise this will be going on for a very long time. This next card is red again, so if your hand is on your head, you can stay on your feet. If it's on your back, please take a seat. I will also mention that if you definitely do not want to win a prize, you can just pretend to lose at any point and take your seat and just skip yourself out of winning a prize. So we will keep going as long as it takes. If you think this card is red, hand on head. If you think it's black, hand on your back. We'll keep this going. This next one is black. If your hand is on your head, you can now sit down. If it's on your back, please stay on your feet. How many we've got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are down to just a few individuals. Please try and make different decisions to each other. We will keep this going. Please make your decisions now. Hand on your head or hand on your back. Let's see if you're going to win the prize. We've got a couple on head, a couple on back. This next one is red. So if your hand is on your back, you can now sit down. We're now down to 2. So make sure in this round you pick different decisions to each other. Almost in time for the music. Red or black, please make your decisions now. Final one is black. You, my friend, are our lucky individual. Please make your way up to the stage and claim your prize. Fantastic. It is a pleasure to meet you. You can actually stay stood for this one. I am afraid there is no actual prize.
Damn.
But we are going to see how far we can push your luck this afternoon. I would like you to take all of these cards.
Okay.
Now, so far, you've made the correct choice a few times as to whether a card is red or whether it is black, and we're going to keep that game going. Without looking at the cards, dealing from the top, if you think the card is red, place it on the right. If you think the card is black, you can place it on the left. Use your gut feeling and your intuition to decide on this. So please, hold the cards here. Take the first card, and going with your gut feeling, place it on either one of the plates. Face down. I mean, at least you got one of them right. So keeping it face down, dealing them on either side, make your next decision. And again, and again, and again. And we're going to keep going to see how far we can push your luck and your gut feeling and your intuition today. Now, for everybody else here, I'd like you to imagine each of these choices is like a coin flip. A 50-50 choice as to whether it is red or whether it is black, whether it is heads or whether it is tails. And I want you to think about how many of those decisions you think you could make right in a row. Now, our friend here, sorry, I never actually got your name.
Curtis.
Curtis, pleasure to meet you, Curtis. Curtis here has so far made a few of those decisions right so far, enough to win the game show and come up to the front. And this is going to demonstrate how lucky he is. I will say, though, that there are 26 red cards, 26 black, so by the end, these scales should be balanced. They don't need to stay balanced in the middle, but at the end, they should be. I should also give you a bit of exposition on the night that Dr. Black died. On the night that he died, there was an individual who played game after game after game. They played blackjack, they played poker, they played roulette. And every time they played, they bet a bit of money, and every time they won, they bet a little bit more. And this continued on so far, so that by the end of the night, they played one final game against Dr. Black himself. And they've ended up balanced. A round of applause for Curtis. You can take a seat just there for me. We can now take a look at how well you've done. Basically, at this point, anything above 50%, and Curtis is lucky. Anything less than 50%, we'll pretend this didn't happen, and he's not as lucky as I think he is. No, you won't actually believe this. I'll let you see this before everybody else.
Okay.
Okay, ignoring that one.
Oh.
I'll show all of you what we can see here. Somehow, Curtis has managed to separate every single one of these cards, red from black, without looking, just using his... Okay, almost every single one red from black. There was a mistake, 10 of diamonds. Forget about that. And just assume and just pretend that you got every single one of them right. Everybody, please, Curtis. But there is a bit of the story that I didn't share with you. In this final game, the gambler played Dr. Black in a game where they took a shuffled deck of cards and tried to separate them red from black. And the gambler, so self-assured, so cocky and so proud, made a bet. It's quite a simple bet. He said if he could separate every single one of them perfectly, then Dr. Black would give everything away, the house, the estates, the jade ring. But if our gambler, if Curtis, made a single mistake, he would give up everything that was theirs. On the night that Dr. Black died, our gambler did make a mistake. Inside that evidence box, I kept hold of that mistake. If you could go and take a look inside, there should be one more piece of evidence. If you could take out what you find inside, it should show that Curtis, our gambler, made the exact same mistake today, the 10 of diamonds. And so now that leads on to one final question. After losing everything in this game against Dr. Black, Curtis could have done one of two things. Could have accepted the loss, handed over all of his wealth, and left the party without kicking up a fuss. Or perhaps Curtis, our gambler, couldn't stand the thought of losing, and it's him that killed Dr. Black and knows the weapon inside that box. But again, this is just a theory. This is the last of my theories so far. So please give a warm hand to Curtis, our gambler. Thank you very much. You can return to your seat. Honestly, I just use this point in investigation just to take a quick break. But I should probably use this to take a moment to show a bit of a public service announcement for a different killer that is on the loose. One of these is safe, the other deadly. Which one is which?
This one's safe.
Safe,
Yeah.
deadly. It's fine, it's just decaf. The killer that I want to tell you about goes by the name of the coffee cup killer. One of these is safe, the other deadly. Which one is which? Which one is this? Deadly, safe. Good choice. Now, the coffee cup killer, he has a strange process. When he selects his victims, he sits them down, similar to how I am today, and he gets them to make a choice. If they choose correctly, they take their drink and they leave unharmed. But if they make the wrong choice, for the final time, one of these is safe, the other deadly. Which one is which? Oh, the hesitation's not helping me.
Is that one safe now?
Safe, deadly? And what was your name again? Erin. If this goes wrong, you can tell the police and the ambulance service it was Erin. Safe. You're certain. Survive again, thank you. But I haven't really told you everything. See, the coffee cup killer, he has a bit of a strange method as well. Because he doesn't poison his victims' drinks. He spikes them. And inside every single one of the deadly cups that you named tonight is a solid steel spike. Thank you very much. It's not really much of a break though, is it? Suppose we should get back to the investigation. This afternoon, you have met 3 individuals, 3 suspects, 2 of whom are innocent, but 1 is our killer. But now is the point where we get to find out how closely you've all been paying attention and if you can unravel the mystery. So if you could please give a warm round of applause to all 3 of our suspects as they come and meet me at the side of the stage for our trial. Fantastic. I'll give you this to hold. Hold it with the evidence label facing out. Have our professor, same thing for you. Hold it with the evidence label holding out. Now, gambler. Now, in front of us, there are 3 places that you can stand, and being the first person up, you might feel obliged to stand in position number 1, but that is not the case. You can choose to stand wherever it is you would like. Same goes for our professor. There are 2 places that you can stand. You can choose wherever you wish. Now, this may seem a bit unfair. Last but not least, Curtis. However, you get a choice the others didn't get to make.
Oh.
You could actually choose either one of our other suspects and make them swap with you if you'd prefer to stand there instead.
No, I'm happy.
You're happy? Location number 3. Because this is now the point where I can run my trial. I'm going to ask each of our suspects a few questions, and it's your job as members of the jury to figure out whether they are lying or telling the truth with their answers to decide on who you think killed Dr. Black. Curtis, we'll begin with you. Now, Curtis, I know you as a bit of a gambler, but what is your favourite thing to bet on?
To bet on?
To bet on. Which game would you like to bet on the most?
Poker.
Poker. And in all the time you've been playing poker and making these bets, what's the most you've ever won?
£6,000.
£6,000. Pretty good going. But in the final game against Dr. Black, you lost everything, not just that 6k, but everything else you'd ever earned. How much was that?
24k?
£24,000. Now I'm going to give you a chance to give one final plea to our wonderful members of the jury, and I would like for you to quote the infamous but wonderful musician Shaggy. You don't have to do it in the voice, but if you could simply say into the microphone as innocently as possible, "It wasn't me."
It wasn't.
Now if you could pass the microphone along to Lee, our thief. Now Lee, was this your first robbery?
It wasn't a robbery.
It wasn't a robbery. What would you call it then?
I'll go with your thing. It's my first robbery.
It's your first robbery. And how long had you been planning this robbery?
About 25 minutes ago.
It was a very last-minute decision.
yeah, indeed.
But what was it that pushed for you to enter into a life of crime?
Stuff got tough.
Stuff got tough. And what was it about that jade ring that was so special to you?
It used to belong to my grandmother,
It used to belong to your grandmother,
apparently.
and it ended up with Dr. Black. That's all the questions I have for you. So again, you can make your final plea. You could say to the audience, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
And if you could pass the microphone along to Mark, our professor. Again, just a few questions for you. You claim to be a professor. But a professor of what?
Computer science.
Computer science. Makes sense with Rubik's Cubes. And that trick where you solve it behind your back, how long did it take to learn?
It's hard to put a time on it.
It's fine sometimes.
Talented instantly.
Instantly, just in the moment, you can just do it. Incredible. And when you're at this party, you see Dr. Black showing off the cube inside the jar, the thing that you could never figure out. How did that make you feel?
Very upset.
Very upset. Again, that's the last of my questions, so you can make your final plea and say to the audience, say to our jury, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I can take the microphone back from you. Because now it is time for all of you to make your decision. In a moment, you are going to get to vote for whoever you think killed Dr. Black. Now, this voting method is a little bit unorthodox. I'm going to allow you to boo. Specifically, you will boo for whoever you think did it. Now, some of you will be tempted to boo for all of them, but please make a decision and boo for one. And because this is a little bit of a strange thing to do, I'm going to get you to practice. And I want you to practice booing at me. So take a deep breath. 3, 2, 1. I will try not to take it personally. So take a moment to make your decision. Now, if you believe that Curtis, our gambler, is the one who killed Dr. Black, could you please boo now? There's like a couple of people have it out for you. If you think that Lee, our thief, is the one who did him in, could you please boo now? So you're safe. And last but not least, if you think that Mark, our professor, is the one who done it, could you please boo now? I think that makes Lee our accused killer. But there is a piece of evidence that I haven't shown to any of you yet. You see, I actually have the location that Dr. Black died. I have a map of his manor, a map that you all might recognize. He had a very stereotypical manor home. And on this map there is an X in the location where we found his body. Which room did we find him in?
The lounge.
The lounge. Not the study, the kitchen, the hall, but the lounge. And you remember earlier that our suspects, as they came up, they got to choose wherever they would like to stand. Now Lee chose to stand in position number 2. If Lee had chosen, she was the first one up, to stand in position number 3, she would have ended up in the ballroom. But she didn't. If Lee had chosen to stand over in position number 1, she would have ended up in the study. But she didn't. She chose to stand in location number 2. And I suppose I should tell you this. There is one fact that remains with killers, serial killers specifically, and that is they like to return to the scene of the crime. And Lee, our thief, did indeed return to the lounge. But on its own, this piece of evidence is inconclusive. It could just be pure coincidence. So there is one last thing we need to check. Curtis, could you pop open the top of the envelope, and inside you'll find one more piece of evidence. So you could slide that out for me? If you could show it to everybody. This item was something that made Curtis a suspect in the first place. We found Curtis's fingerprints on a revolver in the manor. Mark, if you could slide out the piece of evidence you find inside and show it to everybody. You can take this.
Okay.
Mark's fingerprints were found on a piece of rope. There is one item that has been in this box the entire night that was used to kill Dr. Black. If we take a look, we find that Lee's fingerprints were found on the candlestick. Lee, could you please take a look? And if you could show to everybody the weapon that was used to kill Dr. Black was indeed the candlestick. And so we have found our killer. It was Lee, the thief, all along, which clears Mark, the professor's name. So could you please give a warm round of applause to Mark? Make your way back to your seat. It clears Curtis's name as well. So another round of applause to Curtis. And Lee, if you could hold tight one more moment. You see, in these kinds of investigations, I do not have the powers of the police. I cannot arrest you. So instead, all I can do is collect my evidence and present it back. I can take the box, you keep hold of that. To collect my evidence, I bring along one more piece of equipment, the very trusty Polaroid camera. Thank you. If you could hold on to this for me. And on the count of 3, I would like to say the word guilty. And so, on 3, 2, 1, say guilty.
Guilty.
Fantastic. I'll be taking that back to the police. And so now, if you could please give a warm hand to Lee, our killer, our thief, for helping out tonight. You can make your way back to your seat. And this now brings my investigation to a close. So I'd like to give take a moment to give a few thank yous. My investigations take the help from a number of people. So first, if you could please give a round of applause to the Liberots Theatre Cafe for allowing me to run my investigation here tonight. If you could also give a round of applause to Glenn, who's been on Lights and Sound, bringing this whole thing to life this evening. My name has been Detective Stannard. You have all been wonderful. Thank you so much for helping out. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening and get home safe.
Then I came in and caught me red-handed.